Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you're all fine and safe. Students, I am your English teacher. And today I am here with the third lesson for your week 1. And today we are going to have some story time. We are going to read some stories from your short stories book, The Golden Goose and Other Stories. I hope you all have this book with you. Students, we are going to start with chapter 1, The Golden Goose. Actually, this book has a lot of short stories for you, and the first one is The Golden Goose, and we are going to start with that. But before starting our lesson, let me tell you that the objectives or the learning outcomes for today's lesson are to enable you to improve your ability to read. Students, as I always say, and I am always saying, that reading is very important. You should make reading a habit. You should make reading a part of your life because it's really very important. It improves your language skills. It helps you to learn a lot. If you want to learn how to speak a language, how to write a language, how to think in a certain language, you should read. You should only read whatever you have, newspapers, books, blogs, whatever you like to read. Then secondly, you will be able to learn moral lessons through short stories, and third, last but not the least, to comprehend the story and solve the related exercises. So these are the outcomes for today. Students, here again I have a very small exercise for your small brains. What you are going to do is, today I want you to think that why do we read short stories? What is the purpose behind reading short stories? We can read novels, we can read newspapers, we can read news, we can read magazines. Why are we reading short stories? There must be some purpose behind it. I just want you to think over it. Then we'll discuss it together. Done? Okay, so here I have the answer to that question. Let's see what you thought and whether our answers match. My dear students, short stories always have an important lesson attached to them. As I've already told you that short stories have lessons attached to them. These stories make us learn lessons about being a good and successful human being, about helping others, about being truthful and honest, and many other things. So this is why we read short stories, because the lessons hidden in the short stories make us build up our character, make us be a good human being, bring very positive changes in our characters. So this is why we read short stories. Okay, so now students, this is my favorite time, the story time. I really enjoy stories, wow. I also miss my time at school when we used to read many stories, but now also I'm reading stories with you, so it's fun and the same thing. Okay, so here I am with the very first page of your story. Number 1, The Golden Goose. Let's start reading. I'll read it again. I'll read it for you once, then you will read it again before you do the exercise. Okay? Number 1, Golden Goose. Wood for the fire. There was once a young man who lived with his mother, father, and 2 brothers in a house in the forest. His name was Dumpling. His whole family thought he was stupid. They were very unkind to him. One day the eldest brother said, "Mother, we need more wood for the fire. I will go into the forest to cut some." "What a great son you are," his mother replied. "Wait a moment. Before you leave, I will get you something to eat and drink. You can take it with you." She got a bottle of wine and a nice meat pie from the cupboard. She put them in a bag for him. The eldest brother went to the forest to look for wood. He walked and walked until he found an old dead tree. "This is a good tree," he said to himself. "The wood is hard and dry. It will burn nicely." Before he started to cut the tree down, he decided to have something to eat and something to drink. He sat down. He took the meat pie and the bottle of wine out of his bag and began his dinner. Now, in this part of the story, they are introducing us the characters of the story, which is Dumpling, who lived with his father, mother, and two brothers, and everybody thought that he was very stupid, so they were very unkind to him. And one day, what happened? The eldest brother went out to cut wood for fire, and his mother gave him some meat pie and and a bottle of wine to drink and eat, because he must feel his mother thought that he might feel hungry and thirsty, so that is why she gave food with him. Now, before Dumpling's brother started cutting the tree, he decided to eat and drink something. So what he did was, he sat down and took out his meat pie and bottle of wine from his bag, and he began his dinner. Now let's read ahead and see what's happening next. The little old man. A little old man came along. He saw the young man sitting at the foot of the dead tree, eating and drinking. Now, while Dumpling's brother was eating and drinking, a little old man came there. Let's see what's happened next. Good day, young man, he said. Would you give me a little piece of that lovely meat pie and a little wine? I am very hungry and thirsty. But the young man answered, Shall I give you some of my meat pie? Shall I give you some of my wine? Oh no, I don't think I will, thank you. I won't have enough left for myself. Go away. The little old man said nothing. He walked away into the forest. Now that old man asked Dumpling's brother to share his food with him, but his brother refused to do so, and the old man went away. The eldest brother began to cut down the dead tree with his axe. He hit it once, he hit it twice, he hit it 3 times, and then he hit his arm. The cut was a bad one. He had to go home without any wood. Now what happened was that the eldest brother started cutting his tree, but he was unable to cut it. Instead, he cut his hand, and the cut was so bad that he had to go home empty-handed, and he was unable to take any wood with him. Now let's see what happened. Next, the middle brother went into the forest to cut wood. His mother gave him a meat pie and a bottle of wine too. He walked and walked through the forest until he came to the same dead tree. The same little old man met him. Would you please give me something to eat and drink? The old man asked, but the middle brother said, The more I give you, the less there is for me, so go away. The little old man said nothing. He walked away into the forest. The second brother began to cut down the dead tree with his axe. He hit it once, he hit it twice, and then he hit his leg. The cut was a bad one. He too had to go home without any wood. Now when the elder brother went back home without any wood, the middle brother came to the forest, to the same place, and he saw the same tree. Again he met the same old man. The old man asked him to share his food and wine, and the middle brother also refused. And this time the middle brother hit his leg while he was cutting the tree. Again he had to go back home without any wood. See, so both the same things happened with both the brothers. The elder brother also, the middle brother also. They did not share their food, and they hurt themselves, and they went home without any wood. Let's see what happens next. Dry bread and sour milk. Then Dumpling said, Father, let me go into the forest and cut wood. Stupid, his father said. Your brothers are good wood cutters. They have both hurt themselves. Do you think you can do any better? But Dumpling kept asking. At last his father said, All right, do what you like. I know you will hurt yourself. Perhaps that will teach you a lesson. Dumpling asked his mother for a meat pie and some wine, but she only gave him some dry bread and a bottle of sour milk. Dumpling walked through the forest until he came to the same dead tree. He met the same little old man. I am hungry and thirsty. Can you please give me something to eat and something to drink? The old man asked. I only have some dry bread and some sour milk, replied Dumpling. If you think that is all right, we will sit down and eat it together. The little old man looked pleased. They both sat down at the foot of the dead tree. When Dumpling took his dry bread out of the bag, he got a surprise. It had become a large meat pie when he took out the sour milk. He got a bigger surprise. It had turned into a lovely, sparkling red wine. Dumpling and the little old man enjoyed the meat pie and the wine. Afterwards, the little old man said, "You were kind. You gave me something, so I will give you something. When you cut down this old tree, look at the ground where its roots are. You will see something interesting there. It is for you." Then he said goodbye and walked away into the forest. Now, in this part of the story, we read that when both of Dumpling's brothers went home without what Dumpling started asking his father to give him permission to go, but his father first said no, you won't be able to bring any wood, and finally he allowed him. Dumpling asked his mother to give him the food, but in place of meat pie, his mother gave him dry bread, and in place of wine, she gave him sour milk. He took the food and went into the forest. He reached the same place where his elder brothers reached. He met the old man. The old man again asked Dumpling also to share his food, and this time Dumpling told him that he had some dry bread and sour milk, but if it's okay with the old man, he was ready to share it. The old man was okay, and when they started eating, when Dumpling started taking out food from the bag, he came to know that the bread was changed into meat pie and the sour milk was changed into red wine. The old man and Dumpling sat together and had their food, and when the old man was going, he said that because you were very kind to me, I will give you in return, and when after cutting this tree, just make sure that you look at the ground where the roots of the tree are. You will get something there, and that is for you. Now let's see what Dumpling got in return of his kindness to the old man. A wonderful bird. Dumpling got up and began to work. He hit the tree just once with his axe, and it fell down. He saw a hole in the ground under the roots of the tree. Sitting inside the hole was a large bird with yellow feathers. It looked like a duck, but it was bigger. It was a goose. Dumpling had seen a white goose before. He had never seen a yellow one. He looked at the feathers more carefully. They were made of gold. It was getting dark. Dumpling picked up the goose and went into an inn. Inn means a small place, a small sheltered place. He decided to stay there for night. Now 3 sisters lived at that inn. They saw the goose with the feathers made of gold. They thought it was a wonderful bird. That night when Dumpling was asleep, the elder sister came to his room. She tried to pull one of the feathers from the goose's tail. To her surprise, her hand got stuck to the goose. She could not move it. She tried hard to pull it away, but the more she pulled, the more it stuck. Then the second sister came in. Now what happened was that after eating and drinking, Dumpling got up and began to work, and he just hit the tree once with the axe and the tree fell down. And from the hole in the ground where the roots of the tree were, Dumpling found a yellow goose, and he was very surprised to see because he had seen white goose, but this goose was yellow. Okay, so then he noticed that the feathers of the goose were made up of gold, and as the day was coming to towards its end and it was almost getting dark, Dumpling picked up the goose and went to a sheltered place and decided to stay there for the night. He did not go home. He stayed in that inn, and in that inn there lived 3 sisters, and they saw that the goose feathers were made up of gold, and they thought that it was a wonderful bird. And what happened at night when Dumpling was asleep, the eldest sister tried to pick one feather from the goose tail, but what happened was that her hand got stuck with the goose and she was unable to remove it. And just at that time, the second sister came to that place. Let's see what happened with the second sister. She wanted one of the goose feathers too. When she saw her sister there, she went up to her and touched her on the arm. Her hand stuck to her sister. Then the youngest girl came in. The other 2 cried out, keep away, don't touch anything." But the youngest girl thought they were trying to trick her. "They just want to keep everything for themselves," she said. She walked up to them and touched the arm of her second sister. her hand got stuck too. So the three girls spent the whole night in Dumpling's room. They were stuck to each other and to the goose. They shouted, they cried, they called for help, but no one heard them. Dumpling was fast asleep. Now what happened was that the second sister got stuck with her elder sister, because when she touched her elder sister, she was unable to move her hand from there. After some time, the youngest girl came into the inn and into the room where Dumpling was sleeping. Although the other two sisters tried to tell her that she should not do what they did, she should not touch the goose or themselves, but the youngest sister did not listen to her elder sister, and she went and touched one of her sisters, and she also got stuck there. The whole night passed in the same manner. They kept on shouting, they kept on asking for help, but there was nobody there to help them because Dumpling was fast asleep and there was nobody around. So this is what happened to the three sisters. They got stuck to the goose and to each other. Now let's see what happens in the other part of the story, which says running after Dumpling. The next morning, Dumpling woke up early. He jumped out of bed. He picked up the goose and hurried out of the inn. He took no notice of the three girls. They had to hurry along behind him. There was nothing they could do. Where Dumpling went, they had to go. If he had hurried, they had to hurry. On their way through the forest, they met a teacher. When he saw them all, he said, "Girls, girls, why are you running after this young man? Nice girls don't do that. Don't you feel bad for what you are doing? What will your parents think?" He took the youngest by the hand to lead her away. As soon as he touched her, he was too stuck and had to follow the rest. Next, they met the school office boy. He saw the teacher running after the three girls. He wondered where he was going. "Stop! Stop!" he called out to the teacher. "You must have teach some lessons today." Okay, so now what happened was the next morning when Dumpling woke up, he did not take notice of the girls and he just pick up his goose and hurried out of the place and just started walking and walking. He did not notice the girls were also stuck to him or the goose. He just kept on walking, and on the way through the forest, they all met a teacher, and he started talking to the girls that, "Girls, what are you doing? Why are you going after this young man? What will your parents think about this?" And just when he was saying all these things, he took a hold of the youngest girl's arm, and as soon as he touched the girl, he got stuck to them also, and he was unable to move. And then he was also forced to go wherever Dumpling was going because he was also stuck with them. Next, they met an office boy, and a school office boy, and he saw the teacher running after the girls, and he started saying that, "Teacher, where are you going? You have to take lessons." And they all were stuck to each other. They all were running wherever Dumpling was going. They were forced to follow him because they were all stuck with each other. Let's see what happens next. He held onto the teacher's coat and tried to pull him away. In a moment, the office boy was stuck too. As the five were hurrying behind Dumpling, one behind the other, they met two farmers. The teacher asked them to help him get away. Of course, as soon as the farmers touched him, they were stuck behind the rest. That made 7 people all running after Dumpling and his goose. Now what happened was that the office boy tried to pull the teacher, and for that purpose he held the corner of his coat in his hand, but as soon as he touched the coat of the teacher, he too got stuck. On the way, they met 2 farmers. The teacher asked for their help so that he can get away from those girls and Dumpling and the goose, but as soon as the farmers touched them, they also got stuck, and in all they were all 7 people who were stuck with Dumpling and his goose and were running all around after them. So now let's see what happens in the next part of the story. The Serious Princes. They came to a big city. In the middle of the city was a palace. A king lived there with the princess, his only daughter. The princess was a thoughtful, serious girl. She never laughed. She never smiled. All day and every day she walked about the palace with a serious look on her face. The king said that anyone who made her laugh could marry her. That morning, the princess was in her room. She was busy thinking serious thoughts. Then she heard a noise outside. She looked out of the window. There, in the street, she saw a very strange thing. A young man holding a goose was running past the palace. 7 people were following him. They were all stuck to one another. When the young man stopped, they all stopped. When he ran, they all had to run. When he went one way, they all had to go to the same way. All of a sudden, the young man turned round. He started going back past the palace. The others all tried to do the same. They fell over one another. They pushed each other. They pulled each other. Now, this part of the story is about a serious princess. Dumpling was moving and moving, and soon they came to a city. And in the middle of the city, there was a palace. And in that palace, a king lived with his daughter. The daughter, the princess, was a very serious girl. She never laughed. She always thought serious things. She never smiled, and she was very serious. She was never laughing or smiling. And the king had announced that whoever will make her daughter laugh could marry her. And soon that day, the princess heard the noise, and when she looked out, she saw this strange thing happening. That 7 people were stuck together with Dumpling and his goose, and they were going wherever Dumpling was going. Then suddenly, what happened? Then Dumpling took a turn, and while following Dumpling, all the 7 people fell on each other, because obviously they were stuck together. They must have lost their balance, and they must have fallen over each other. They pushed each other, they pulled each other. So this was a very funny thing going around there. Let's see what happens next. They stepped on each other's toes. They fell over each other's feet. They shouted, they screamed, they cried. Some of them even laughed. None of them could get away. None of them could stop Dumpling from running around. The princess thought it was the funniest thing she had ever seen. First her eyes sparkled, then her lips moved a little, then she smiled, then she giggled, and then she laughed. She laughed and laughed and laughed, so much that she could not stop. In the end, she had to sit down on the floor. She was so weak from laughing. Everyone thought Dumpling was stupid, but Dumpling married well. His wife was the lovely, thoughtful princess. The princess loved him all her life because he made her laugh so much. The king loved him too because Dumpling had made his daughter happy. So now, after seeing whatever was happening with Dumpling and the 7 people, they were walking on each other, they were falling on each other. The princess thought that it was very, very funny. And first her eyes sparkled, her eyes began shining. Then she moved her lips a little. She gave a small smile. Then she giggled, and suddenly she started laughing. And she laughed so much that she was unable to stand. And finally, she was forced. She had to sit down because she became so weak by laughing so much. And after that, Dumpling, who everyone thought was very stupid, got married to the princess, and the princess loved her. Her father also loved her, and they stayed happily. So in the end, Dumpling ended up very well. So this was the story, and the moral of the story is that being kind improves our quality of life. Like Dumpling was kind to the old man, he shared his food with the old man, and in return he got a very good life after marrying the princess, obviously. So he got his quality of life improved. So this is the moral of the story. Now let's talk about today's assignment, class. Today's assignment is that you are going to read this chapter from your novel and The Golden Goose and Other Stories, and solve the exercise 1 which is given at the back of your book. Now again, as I have a few reminders earlier also for you in previous lessons, here also I have some rules for your book maintainers. What you are going to do is you should always write your names on the cover page of your book. My dear students, what you do is you always forget to write names on these short stories book. So make sure you are writing names on the cover page. Cover your book with plastic cover. Don't forget this. Again, this is very important. Turn the page politely from the top right corner. Students, make sure that you turn the pages of the book very politely from the top right corner, and do not turn the pages from the center. Do not fold the pages while turning them. And don't scribble on your books. I don't want to see any writing, any drawing, any shapes, any hearts, or any messages written on your books. Please avoid scribbling. And now quickly let's see what we've learned today. We've learned that we should be kind to others, because if we will be kind to others, we will get good things, good results in return. Okay, and this was all for today's lesson. Until I see you next time, Allah Hafiz, take care of yourselves, love you all, bye.